All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is April the 30th, 2017. It's 2:45 in the afternoon. I'm going to get started with a couple of dollar pairs for this week. My personal opinion on this week is that the dollar pairs is going to be relatively slow leading up until the non-farm payroll this Friday, first Friday of the month. So, and it's actually on Elliott's wave, it is looking on Elliott terms, I mean, it is looking like that. So here's the daily CAD, dollar CAD, and basically this particular very long short starting at the top is wave 1 or A. Now you can label this several different ways, but as of right now, because this can be A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X where my B is, and then this can be an ending diagonal Y for W, for a larger W instead of an A, and then this can be an X again instead of this B, and then you can see pretty much here another leading diagonal A, then B, then C of Y for another Y, but I didn't choose to do it that way. So I did an A, a B, a C for a larger A, then a B, and then an A, a B, a C for a W. So I have this entire move as the W, and then I have an A, B, C of X. But this is a double zigzag. You can almost say that this can be a triple zigzag, but right now I just have that labeled as a double zigzag, and it's been working pretty well. And if everything turns out to be correctly with this labels, then this will be the A, this will be the B, and then the C of Y for wave 2. I have it going to at least 138, yeah, around 138, even somewhere around there. I don't see it going to 140. It still could, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I think that it will stop somewhere in this high 137 area before it actually, once it completes wave 2, and then we'll start seeing a dollar a weakness in the dollar, and that may lead to this Friday being some type of spike. So it might spike up, come close to this 76 range, and then start making its way down. A couple of people, Cinex and another couple of people, we've been chatting here and there, and most labels are looking like it's going to be some dollar weakness pretty soon. But right now, it's not the case. So you want to go with what's right now, not not try to take any trades against the dollar right now, because right now it's still strong. So I'm going to move on. I don't think I actually labeled this. Let me see. No, I'm still playing with this one. As you can see, I got my sim going on here, and I'm trying to work this. So basically, what I'm doing is like this is how I do it. Just so if you actually want to pay attention or whatever, I go on my sim, and what I do is I have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have an A, B, C. This may be, it may not be correct. But what I'll do is I'll just jump in the trade because it's sim, and I'll get my levels. And then let's just say I'm actually projecting this particular, if this is C, it may end around 130, somewhere around there. If that's the case, then I'll go in, and I'll go in with a small contract, like 25K, somewhere around there, a lot. Nothing, $4 or $5 a tick, somewhere around there, just to kind of test it after I've already tested it, on sim. And I'll get this number here where it's not even, where it's pretty much nothing. From there, once I back tested everything and everything looks good, I'll still keep this on sim, but then I'll go over to my live account, and from there I'll just boom, and I'll actually take the trades and go from there. So moving on from there, I'm testing this once I get an accurate. I don't think these labels are correct. I just kind of threw these together on what it could be. Once I get a better accurate daily on the pound dollar, then I'll actually come back to that. So I'm gonna move on to what I was started off with last week, and that was the euro yen, and this is the daily at the top left. I'm still up a little over 500 ticks, so that's a good thing. But however, as you can see, this pink here, that's my stop loss. So I'm already expecting a move to the downside, and I'm expecting a significant move to the downside, at least around 119, if not lower. And if that does that, that's fine, because I already have half of that. As you can see, is 25. Half of what my thing is at will be taken out. I'm not gonna completely come out of this trade, because I still think it's room to the upside if this is in an uptrend. Some people have it as a downtrend, but as of right now, I don't see it that way. I see this as a 1-2 count. And if that's a 1-2 count, then you should see 3, 4, and 5 up. So right now it's doing good, and we're gonna keep rolling with those numbers. The Euro Aussie, I also have this in this is Euro Aussie. So I also have this in this is a 1-2. I do not like this, because I almost wanted to label this as a leading diagonal, but this doesn't look right. And what that can tell me is two things. It can tell me that this to the upside is not 3 here, and maybe this is some form of downtrend. And I'm looking at something much different than what I should. I have this half labeled as wave C, and so far since the bottom of C of 136.27 has pretty much went up, what I guess you could say about $10. Right now there's no reason to believe that it's still in a downtrend, and I've taken literally 200 or 300 ticks on this leg, 50 or so ticks on this leg, and as you can see, I literally caught the pretty much the entire leg of this uptrend. It literally went to 139.79. I got in at 140.31, so I got in 62 ticks or so later, and it took off from there, and went from 140, and it's at 145 currently. However, it did stop at 146.50, so it has went up above $10. So right now there's no this count could technically be a 1-2, 1-2, 3. Then you get a 4 here, and then possible a 5 of 3. That'll maybe find some resistance at around 147.20 or so, which I'm kind of looking at this previous spike. So that is a possibility. Until then, I'll keep my stops kind of tight. That way, I can lock in some of that money basically. Another one that I didn't post, and it actually started doing good. I posted a few weeks ago, but that is another dollar trade, and that is the New Zealand dollar. Now, I don't know for sure. This could be a leading diagonal. However, the 3 is the shortest, and the 3 can't be the shortest of 1, 3, and 5. Right now, this 1 will be the longest, and the 5 is actually longer than the 3. So these labels are inaccurate. So this has to be some other form of. It may not be a 1-2 count. I just kind of threw these labels together. I'm gonna fix that however I can, because it still looks good, but at the end of the day, I can't say that this is a 1, 2, then you have a 3. So it's kind of like, this can be a 1, 2, maybe a 3 here, 4, 5 of 1. You can have the A here, the B here, C of 2, but then from here to here, that doesn't appear like a 3. So I would have to kind of come up with something a little bit different, because this will be technically, if I did it, this would be a 3, this would be a 4, this would be a 5. So that it could kind of be something of a leading diagonal, but it doesn't. That look doesn't look appealing to me. But right now, as far as labels, I have that as a 1. I have that as a 2, and if you actually measure the 1 from the 2 of what I have, it, I believe it's just right at like 78.6. So let me change that. But yeah, it had the numbers for for a 2. So I mean, I could be right, but it just that look just isn't really that appealing to me. So um, that's going to be on my list to actually go ahead and take a further look at that. But if you look at 0.786 and 73.54, it went just there, went just above it at 73.74, 20 ticks up, and it came crashing down. I'm sorry, 1, 2, yeah. So it still went just above it. So both the twos, the 1, 2, 2 of 1, and the actual wave 2, and then you have a 1, 2 again, and that's when I actually got in and went short. This was stuck in like maybe the B of 2 or something for a while, because for a few weeks this market didn't even move. I didn't have much in it, so I didn't care. Um, I paid attention to it, but nothing to say, okay, look here, guys, this is going to be a trade. If you got in this trade, let's say somewhere up here, then great. When we were looking at this, I already took profit like right here somewhere months ago. And once it started doing all this retracing and correcting, I kind of got out of it because it was moving a little slow. It's possible that this may pick back up, but we'll see. But the dollar may get strong, but I need to see a little bit clearer evidence. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to have this particular market, this video go too long. So let me go back to my favorite, my Aussie dollar. Excuse me. I still have my labels are the exact same. I have an A, B, C for a B, a C, a D, and an E with an alternate bullish triangle, which will basically be, this is the A. So this is basically the A here. This will be A of B, B of B, C of B, D of B, E of B in the triangle, and then you will see a move well above 85, 90, somewhere around there for wave C. However, this looks good, and the evidence to the downside is still pretty good. So I'm saying that this is a leading diagonal that's in place for wave 1 with 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4. Then this will be 1, 2. It'd probably be 3 somewhere, 4, and then 5 of 1 will probably end at mid 73, 73.50, 73.40, somewhere around there. And then if the dollar does weaken like it's due, then that will be then in the correction of wave 2. So hypothetically, if wave 1 ended, let's just say it ended at 73.50, right where my cursor is, let's say 73.50 here, then you're going to see a retracement to 2 that can literally come all the way back here, all the way back to 76. And that's when I would basically, once it makes its low of 1, I would look to actually take at least half out, if not one, my whole, liquidate my entire contract, and then contracts, and then jump back in later. But I don't like to do that. It's a long term. I know where it's headed. It's definitely headed below this B. It's definitely had to go below this D. So if that's the case, you're looking at, you're still looking at, oh man, you're still looking at least $8 or so on this trade to the downside over the course of the next few months. So I'm not getting out no time soon. I might take some profit, but not a lot. The dollar yen is another one. This one can go in a few ways, because this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, and then this is 2, or you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, because if you look at this 50% mark here, it just ended just above it, so it still could be a wave 4, or it could be like a short wave 2. So I kind of got those, that kind of just one of those maybes type things. It's either a 2 or a 4. The good thing is that once it found its low at 108.16, it has went up, but it will find some support in this area, like it's already doing at the high 111. So my stop is moved, because with the yen trades, the dollar yen trades, man, you could be up 100 ticks. I got up 100 ticks, and then within a few hours I was down 50 ticks, just like that. You think that you got the bottom or the top labeled and it's all good, and it just goes the opposite way. So I'm protecting my profits on that. The moving averages are telling me that something is definitely going to hold some support. I'm sorry, some resistance in this area, and I'm going to listen to it. So it's up 199 ticks right now. If I was to get stopped out, I would probably take about 150 or so ticks out of that. It's not a bad trade. It's a damn good trade, actually. I think the last one I need to show is the. Did I show the dollar CAD? Let's see. I showed the dollar CAD already. So the euro dollar. With the euro dollar, for sure, I have this. It's not 100%, but wave 1. So from here to here is wave 1 of 5. This is going to be my W of 2, my X of 2, my A, B. I have it. This is wave 3 of C, and then you're going to see a move kind of come down a little bit, and then it's going to come up. So logically, I'm thinking that by Friday the market is actually going to go, for the dollar, it's going to get weak, and I could be completely wrong, and it can go really strong, but right now evidence is showing that it's going to be a relatively weak dollar based off of the numbers on the non-farm, and it's going to be like a spike up. But once it's done when it spikes up, then the dollar is going to strengthen. So it's like a temporary thing to where people are going to say, oh, okay, they know the dollar is going to go strong, and then people are going to short it, and it's going to go up first, then it's going to go up high, and it's going to take everyone's stop out, and then once everyone's stops are taken out, then it's going to go short, and the dollar is going to go strong. But long term, the dollar will eventually find it's going to get weak eventually. However, it's strong right now. So right now, if the trend is down, then you trade with the trend. So with that being said, I'm trying to go short, and as you can see, I have a sell in at 978. I also got a sell in at 1068. I have this market going back up. I do have colleagues who are already short this market, and they got in around about 109.05 or something like that. I think they got in. I don't see that. I could be completely wrong, and I'll miss it. And if I miss it, I'll just jump in later. No big deal. So we'll see how that goes. Going last but not least, this is just the Ozzy Ichimoral clouds. Basically, I think my next video I'm gonna just start kind of going more into detail on these instead of just showing you the same videos that I keep showing on what these long-term charts are doing, and then I'll try to do some updated cross pairs to see what those are doing. But keep in mind with the cross pairs, I try not to label cross pairs much, because you can have a great Elliott label on cross pairs, and all of a sudden it just can go completely wrong against you. The dollar ones are different. The dollar ones are pretty accurate. Once you really get the labels down, they'll be fine. But those cross pairs, good luck with those. So I tend to stay away from those for the most part. This here is telling me something, so I need to pay attention to that. I'm short this market, but it's telling me that within the next couple of days or so, you are going to see something spike up. And if that's the case, then wave 1 on the Ozzy will be coming to an end real soon. It's probably going to come to just find its support right in this area at a really low 75 area. And if it comes out of here, out of the cloud, that's great. However, it won't come out much. So we'll see when it does that. We'll adjust from there. Also, my point and figure, I definitely want to get into some more on that with other markets on how this point and figure works, what I look at. But right now on the Ozzy, it's just everything looks good. The trend lines are here. Everything is down. There's no upside target. The target is to the downside at 73. So I'm not concerned, there. But when I post on Tuesday, at the latest Wednesday, then I think I'm going to start with markets on point and figure and on Ichimoral, and just kind of give a detail on what I look at to see, how this plays in with Elliott. So that's going to be probably my next thing, because these tell stories. The Ichimoku clouds tell stories. There's all other indicators out there that tell stories, but you don't need to know everything. You just need to be able to glance at a few charts, glance at a few indicators, and say, okay, it's not ready yet. On a daily, if you're trading long term. If you're trading scalping or swings, then you need to be a little bit more detailed. I literally take Sundays and spend about a good hour and a half. I look at all my labels. I update. I look at the market. It's still slow a little bit, even though Japan and New Zealand's open right now, but it's still relatively slow. So you can get a grasp on what the week is going to look like. You make your moves and you do whatever you need to. You add your contracts. You do what you got to do, and then throughout the week you kind of just update. And that's my motto. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will be posting another video on Tuesday. Until then, happy trading, and make sure you make some money this week. Enjoy.